Today we're taking our first look at the Phiber Dash chemical mixing mod for Farming Simulator 22. This mod pack is by Bcbuhler Farms and once released will be for all platforms. There's lots of different styles, preset designs, and even one for sprayers. The mod pack also gives you the option to use the Phiber Dash to mix chemicals together, or just fill up one of the tanks on the trailer and you're good to go. This setup gives you the ability to go wild and mix everything yourself, or you can just do it with no mixing involved. Just jump into the field and get to work. Now I can hear you guys at home, DJ, this looks complicated. How does this work? Is it a factory? And what are all those little bottles for? Well, I'll show you. The mod pack has tons of stuff. We have a bunch of different trailers, both empty and preset, lots of different tanks, a bunch of little pieces in between, and well, a water pump, which, well, you can use to pump things other than water if you want, including some of these extra mixing things. Those are some new logos down at the bottom. We'll talk about it. Basically, what you do as far as mixing goes is you take a couple of these big old tanks like this guy right here, and you add water to that. Then you take one of the mixers like this little guy right here, and you can either mix in the water-soluble fertilizer or unmixed herbicide. We have quite a few different herbicides, so here you guys can see the herbicide tank. There's a lot of different designs for this as well. However, they're all exactly the same, so don't worry too much about that. Then we have a few little guys. So we have the herbicide jug multi-buy right here. You can buy up to 8 at a time, and they are 10 liters each. Or you can buy a little bit of a bigger jug. I've been told that 2 of these come in a box. These are also 10 liters, but they weigh a little bit more, 20 kg. And again, you can buy a couple different ones. As for water-soluble fertilizer, this is what you're going to mix with the water to create liquid fertilizer. And 150 liters may not seem like a lot, but that goes a long way. You can mix a bunch up with that. And as mentioned, we have tons of different tanks in here. You can see we have a couple like this. These are actually clear and you can see the liquids inside filling up when it fills up. It's pretty cool. At the end of the day, all the tanks kind of work exactly the same. You can strap them down, but they actually like connect to the trailers. So let's jump in and take a look at those trailers. There are 6 different trailers, and they all kind of have similar customization, but not all of them have the same customization. You can also see on the left-hand side, we have auto-loading, because yes, if you buy the trailers by themselves, you have auto-loading for bells, which is just super duper epic. So let's start off with the 50-foot step deck. Available wheels, we have the triaxle. Then we have triaxle aluminum. Basically, that just changes the color from a white to a aluminum, for example. And then when we get down to rim colors, you can see there's only 3 colors here. So if I stick with the black, we go for the aluminum, they're a little bit shiny, or we go with the triaxle, they're a little bit of a dull black. Bcbuhler Farms had mentioned that they wanted to do this on their trucks as well because they were tired of seeing this weird silver going on with them, but this is how they've gotten around it. Basically, do you want shiny wheels or not? And then you say yes or no to your white, silver, or black. Shiny or not. Very cool. I like the idea. I've never seen that before. Then we go down to the automatic bell loading. We do straps, no auto loading, and then we have auto loading, no straps. Basically, if you go with auto loading, you don't want straps to be on there. That was a major pain when Farm Sim 22 first released. So yeah, they take that away. Or you can do straps with no auto loading, and they'd be able to strap down whatever you want, which is pretty cool. But you can also connect the things that are in the DLC, which is also pretty cool. It's not DLC, it's a mod pack. Oh, this would have been such a cool third-party DLC. Next, as we've seen, the auto-load capacity, yes or no, and then the sprayer deck. We have the manifold steps. Basically, this allows us to use the Phiber Dash. So without it, none of this, it's just a trailer, man. It's just a trailer. It's a cool-looking 50-foot trailer. But if you go with the sprayer deck, we can do manifold steps. Well, then now it works with the dash. You may be able to see right here, I can't zoom in anymore, right in the center of your screen, there is a small little orange box with 2 openings. We have a smaller one and a larger one. When you see that on your trailer, that's when you know it works with the dash. And then we can also go over to the sprayer deck or the sprayer deck manifold, which is very, very cool. And you can see with the sprayer deck, now it's on this side. So we have left side and right side. Very cool, very awesome, and it's super neat. And if you want to build it yourself, it's a great way to go. Main color on here, we get all of the above colors. Pretty much everything you can imagine, including that Phiber orange. It's a little bit much, but it is what it is. And then we can actually change up the color of the Phiber stuff, which is really cool. So if you're like me and you like Bachman blue, well, you could go with that. You don't have to have the, wow, that is orange. Wow. Orange. Without getting too wild and crazy, this is what the trailer looks like if it's completely full. And yes, the camera's stuck in the ceiling. Bcbuhler says it just happens whenever you put everything together. These are technically separate mods, but yeah. Hopefully you guys can see it down there. It's fully loaded and you don't have to do anything. We have the same options for wheel setups and then the filling capacity on the side. That's going to be a hose reel, standard, or boom. We'll talk about that here momentarily. Next trailer is going to be the 45-foot step deck. This is kind of the same. So we've got tandem or tri-axle versions, auto loading or automatic bell loading for cotton bells and regular bells all the way around. We have straps, no auto loading, or auto loading, no straps. This is not going to affect how the dash works, so just heads up there. Attachers, we have dash. We also have standard. Standard means nothing. It's just a 45-foot step deck trailer. And we also have dash reverse, so it's now going to put it on the right-hand side. Remember how the sprayer bit made it go on the right-hand side? Well, this is basically the same way. And then dash goes over there. It's over there. It's over there. It's over here. It's over there. Get it? And then auto load capacity display. Yes or no. Colors are going to be exactly the same for this one as well. And yes, we also have the 45-foot pre-made. You might be able to see it down at the bottom of your screen a little bit better here. Axles, we have the same wheel setup, so we could do that. And then filling configuration, we have the boom, the hose reel, or standard. Again, we'll talk about that here in a second. Now, if you do choose the 50-foot trailer, we also have an option to go with the sprayer deck trailer auto setup for you, so you don't have to worry about anything. It's just already set up, and yeah, you can take everything off of it if you want. Now into one of my favorites. This is the gooseneck trailer. So configuration, we have dash, and you don't see anything on here because it kind of pops up whenever the time comes. We also have automatic bell loading in the back to that dash again. Now, if we do the dash setup, we actually get a deck over neck setup. This is not available if you go with, well, this setup with the bell auto loading. That's not there. But if you go with the dash setup, we do have that. And again, main color and rim colors are going to be the same. If you're using any of Bcbuhler Farms or 82 Studios, or maybe anybody else that made an X2 flatbed attachment or X2 attachment for their semi-trucks or any type of accessory, then you want this, the X2 flatbed. This is also auto loading for bell auto loads, or you can do the configuration of the dash. Again, nothing appears on there, but we do have some colors, which is super cool. This is looking green. Pink? Oof, that's a lot. Green? Yeah, it's not bad. If you prefer base game trailers, well, then you want to go with one of these. We have the Demco Steel Drop Deck Trailer. This has bits at the back where you can lower the ramps and go up. The ramps are the main difference here, so you can load pretty much anything on there. We have tandem aluminum, and then design, we can do an extension on there, and the manifold steps. So the manifold steps is actually going to be what allows you to use the dash. So make sure you have that if you want to use the dash. Then we have a Load King, exactly the same setup here. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing different. It just gives you the option. Do you like the Load King of the Demco trailers? Hey, that's cool, man. We got those for you too. Unfortunately, with the gooseneck, the attachment, and the Load King and Demco, there are no pre-made setups. But don't worry, I'll show you how to use them. Now, remember when I told you all tanks were exactly the same? So we got this guy, for example. We have a tank at the front and a tank at the back. All tanks are the same. So if I wanted to remove one of these, well, simply all I would do is jump in here and then maybe take the front tank, detach it. I'm going to use super strength here, but I just take it off. And now the tank's not there anymore. Still got straps, so if I need to strap anything down, I can. But the tank is off. And let's say I want to put it back. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to throw it up there. Oh, I almost had the trigger to... I almost had the trigger. There we go. We'll put it back there. And then click it on. There we go. Now it goes into place. Maybe just a little bit more. That works with all of the tanks. Every single tank in here, they're all the same. The only difference is the shape and the size, how much they hold. We do have a couple different designs as well. So let's say you want to go with a ladder. You can. You want to go with dash on the side. You can. Or if you don't want either one of those, you can. And we also have that blue. Don't worry, we got the blue on there. Got to put the blue on there. And then hoop colors. You got the hoop colors. These are available in a lot of different setups. So Here we have the FSH 3250 as well as these 3750. These are going to hold water, which is an important thing for mixing, but if you don't want to mix, it still holds liquid fertilizer and herbicide. You're good to go. It's either do you want to mix or do you not want to mix? That's your question you need to ask. And you're all good. 12,300 liters or 14,200 liters. The big tank here is the 4250, 16,000 liter capacity. Exact same customization and color options. Also, at the very end, we have these tanks. They're the same, man. They hook up exactly the same. They do the same thing. It just looks a little bit different. That's all. And they hold a little bit different. Like I said, the clear ones, these things are cool because you can actually see the stuff in them. Now let's talk about the mixers. We have 2 mixers, and you're going to need these installed, and you're going to need to have them connected to your trailer in order for them to work. If they're not connected to the trailer, they will not work. Just a heads up. Now, filling configuration, we have standard, boom, hose reel, or standard. It does not matter what you choose at all. If you want standard, you're good. If you want a boom, you're good. You can actually boom the boom out, but it doesn't do anything. So you don't have to have that if you want. The hose reel. No, the hose does not come out. It doesn't work with pumps and hoses. It's just visual, and it looks super cool, but it just doesn't do nothing. So just heads up. It's purely visual. We can also change the color on here if we want to. But again, if you said yes to the do you want to mix, you need this. Let's say you want to spend a little bit less money, maybe do things a little bit slower because dash speed price it works with performance. You pay more for the other one, you get. Actually, they both hold the same amount. So in base game, they both hold 560 liters. That's going to be 280 liters of your mix, and then another 280 liters of water, and the water will automatically just go through it after that. Again, colors here, really, there's no difference. They both do the same thing. They both hold the same amount. This right here costs less and goes slower than this. It's the only difference. We also have a water pump. This will hold 40 liters by itself, and it does not mix. So let's say when I asked you, do you want to mix? You said no. Well, this is one thing that you could use if you wanted to. Actually, you don't have to, but it's super cool, and I would definitely use it because it's super cool. $3,000 is going to get you this. I can't zoom in anymore. I wish that I could. Can I cheat zoom? Nope, can't even cheat zoom in here right now. This will allow you to hook up just like the mixer, but it's just a pump. So it just pumps over your liquid fertilizer or herbicide. You could, I guess, pump water as well, but there'd be no point. And lastly, we have a couple accessories. We have the cage. This is going to be for holding some of those bottles. You could also fit one IBC pallet in here with a few extra little bits and bobs. It's just cool. Something that's offered. It's neat. It's got 3 different ways to open it, and you can open all 3 at the same time. Kind of cool. And then lastly, we have the tote deck. Now this appears, pops, and goes upside down, which is super cool. You can go with the air tank, and the air tank will appear on the inside, which is, again, super duper cool. And then we have main colors here as well. Those will actually hook up to this. So if you're wanting to use this, you have to use this, the Dash 4.4, not the 1.4. I'll show you. It sounds a little confusing. Again, there's a lot of stuff here, but it's fairly simple once you get it all in the game. So for the sake of ease, we're going to go easy with it. I'm just going to go with a tri-axle setup here, and then filling configuration, we're going to go with the boom, because that one will actually do something. And the truck we're using is just a Mack truck. Base game, match the wheels, but, well, really, that's about it at the end of the day. Let's hook up here, and at the top left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to notice a lot of stuff. Basically, everything that's connected on here, well, everything that's on this trailer, has a connection in some way. So, as I showed you, whenever we take off this, gotta turn my super strength back on, hitting too many buttons. Bam! It's just a tank at the end of the day. We can take this off. So, why don't we do that? There we go, we've taken that off. And, well, why don't we now take off the tank at the rear? All right, there you go. Now both of those tanks are off. Now what comes next? Ooh, let's take the cage off. Bam! Cage comes off. Now this stuff, some of this you can pick up, some of it you actually need to like use pallet forks for. So heads up through there. And then lastly, we're going to take apart these guys. Yeah. Now both of these will connect together. You do need to connect them together to use both of them. They kind of connect together versus connecting to the trailer. Here, I'll show you what I mean. So we got it back on the trailer. Now let's unconnect the back. There we go. And now that comes off separately. And lastly is going to be our Phiber Dash. Boom, disconnected. And now this piece is done. And now we just have a regular trailer. And as a matter of fact, when we go in to edit it, boom, here you go. And we get other options whenever we edit it after buying all that stuff. So now we have straps for no auto loading or no straps auto loading if you really want to. So yeah, you're good. You can actually go through all that. And now we gotta put it all back together. It's like a big Lego set with a bunch of stuff everywhere. And against my better judgment, I'm actually gonna load this stuff the way that you guys will have to load this. So first things first, let's grab our tank here. And surprisingly, this is super easy to grab a hold of, to move, and to get it sorted. Like, really easy. Almost too easy. I'm concerned if I actually did that right, because it just worked. And then we attach it. Well, bam! Then we've got the cage. Now, on the cage, there's actually a door right here on the side as well. You can see the handle and everything. That is going to go towards the inside of the trailer. So we can see our handles there on our right hand side. We'll bring it over here, put it in the front, and aim it forwards or backwards. Aim it backwards. There we go. Connected. Perfect. What's next? Yes, the dash itself. Now, if you wanted to put a pump on there, the pump would actually go where we're going to put this. You can see we've got these holes. This is what I was talking about when we were customizing. These holes right here. Find those and basically put this right over them. So the front of the machine, put it like right there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get it there. Pull away and attach. Aha! So a little bit further back, but not too bad. Next to last, we need to grab this guy, which I've totally forgotten the name of. The tote deck. Grab that and put it up on the trailer. You can see I just kind of tossed it up there, and that did not work because it is not far enough forward, I don't think. If we grab it, push it a little bit further forward. Yeah, there we go. And it grabs it and attaches. Nice. I only got one more thing. The tank. Now the tank, the back of that is the 3750, but I don't want that. I want a bigger one. This one. Yeah, and I want it to be blue with green stripes over it. That's what I want. So we've got that. Let's grab a hold of it and put it on the trailer. Now with these, there's a kind of a rule of thumb where when you put something on the trailer, if it didn't work, turn it around. And I don't actually know if this is going to work this way or not. I may just have to turn it around. So there we go. Drop that there. Oh, it worked. Aha! It is pushing down on the arm a little bit. While we've got the arm, why don't we talk about the arm? So now we've got that. We've kind of moved it a little bit. Let's see if we can get that thing out of there. There we go. So we can boom that out if we want to. However, I'm going to show you guys a secret. If I hit the F5 button, it shows us all of our collisions. You see there on the left-hand side, we've got boxes that are just kind of moving with us. Well, if I bring that arm in, those boxes don't change. So, is it cool? Yes. Do you need it? No. Okay, so I've swapped over from the 45 that we were just using to the 50-foot dash trailer with all of the goodies. Now let's mix. This is so much easier than like I could explain. We're gonna do fertilizer, so soluble fertilizer right here. Now it'll hold, it says 150 liters. I think 280 liters is the literage amount. I'm gonna buy like 4 of these because I just kind of want to show you don't need that many. What we want to do is we want to select the dash itself. It's this piece right here, the Phiber Dash. We'll bring it around. There's no cover to open or anything like that, just bring it around and then press down on the left stick. And we can load up 260 liters. I know it said it held 580. That other bit is going to be water. Now, if you are like me, oh yeah, by the way, you could take those pallets and like throw them in here, like put them around places. It's totally great. If you carry quite a few of them into the field with you, you could be out there for like hours. So let's come around here. Let's select the front tank. We don't have to open it, nothing like that. We get this. This looks familiar to you. This is because this was on Edgewater, Saskatchewan. If we go into containers in here, the community well. This actually fills up faster than the community well on Edgewater, Saskatchewan, and it comes with this pack. So we just come over, find our water, press down on the left stick, and fill up our water. Now, the water, sometimes with water-soluble fertilizer, sometimes when you're filling this up, it will stop after 260 liters. Just press it again, and it'll fill back up, so you're good to go. Now, remember, if you answered no to the mixing question, you can still carry this stuff around like this. You can actually make your own trailer setup. Just strap everything down if you wanted to, like them, and fill those up with liquid fertilizer or herbicide. You can do the exact same thing, but you do save money doing it this way. So we'll come to the back. There we go. Water going into the back tank, and we'll need a sprayer because I got a field that needs to be fertilized. And we're going with the Bertha Bruin 4200. Now with this, don't need to do anything. Just leave it be. All right. So now we are full over here. Water soluble fertilizer, 260 liters, and we're full of water itself. Now, remember that trigger that we talked about that's way off to the left-hand side? That is going to be an important little trigger. So we're going to come up. We're going to select the Phiber Dash again, piece in the middle that is going to be mixing for us. And once we get beside this sprayer, bam, there at the bottom, start overloading water-soluble fertilizer. Now, there is nothing in this sprayer. Absolutely nothing. But when we start overloading, you see the water-soluble fertilizer going down, and the water went down too, but not a lot. Now, if we bump back over here, liquid fertilizer. Liquid fertilizer was not in that trailer. It was water-soluble fertilizer and water. But here, we've got liquid fertilizer. And it worked exactly the same way for herbicide if you needed it. As a matter of fact, if you spot spray, like, you buy it once and never buy it again. It's ridiculous. There's so much different types of herbicide you could buy here for different prices. Yes, yeah. Also, yes, that did say $24,000. It's a lot, but it works. Again, we'll take this, come into the field, and it's liquid fertilizer. I don't know what to tell you. Where are we? Right here. I got a little bit of fertilizer. It's already in the field. I was doing a spreader video earlier, but you can see it's fertilizing the field. How cool is that? We just made our own liquid fertilizer from stuff in a trailer out of water and an extra thing, and it's not in your production chains. If we go in here, no production chains. All we had to do was overload. That's it. Now, yes, there are a lot of little places to put things, hide things, that kind of thing, and that's what they're for. They're for storage. If you needed to store something in there, you're good to go. You do need to open those covers with the truck. So you go in, open this cover, open that cover. Some are mouse control, some are open cover, stuff like that. Okay, so now that you know how to use it, and hopefully it's simple for you guys. It definitely wasn't for me the first time, but Bcbuhler Farms, having him talk me through it, was able to figure it out. And I was like, wow, this is super easy. It's super cool. So we have the 3 pre-made trailers, and that's where the things go. Other than the tanks, there's nothing else that goes in these spaces. You can't take this cage off and then put the fiber there. You can't do it. Well, not on that one. You actually can on the 45-foot, but you got to flip it around. Like it's set up here. Oh, I didn't realize that. I think Bcbuhler helped me set that up. So yeah, so this one's backwards because we chose the 45-foot with the flip. So I put it on that side, and the cage goes now in the back instead of at the front. It can't go with the front. It won't go with the front. It has to go here. And again, we have tanks. But we also have the other 2 bits, and this is where they come into play. So at the front, of your gooseneck, we can put the cage. That's it. It's the only thing that will connect to the front, just the cage. In the middle, we can connect one of the fiber pieces. So if you wanted to mix, if you said, yes, I want to mix, well, then that goes there. I said no in this case. So now we put our little chainsaw engine here, the water pump, and we are pumping over liquid fertilizer into our sprayer. I'll show you. So we've got the pump on there. By the way, you don't have to turn the pumps on. They just kind of exist. We've got liquid fertilizer in our tank. We could also put water there if we wanted to, or we could put herbicide. Jumping back in the Bruin, nada. It's actually turned off. Let's turn it on real quick. But it has got nothing in it, which means that this guy over here with our TLX should overload the liquid fertilizer just fine. We should get up close to it. Oh yeah, make sure you select the pump and overload. And we're good. So again, if you answered no, I don't want to mix, so loud. If you answered I don't want to mix, then get that. And you're good. It is incredibly slow though. We just hit 1,000 liters. Now let's say you've got your pump disconnected and you want to come up to it. It's not going to be working. I do have a thing that says refill, but we have our pump here. Let's look at the hiccups, which is like the perfect time. I'm curious though. I'm going to disconnect the tank at the back. We're going to jump back in here, and then now we can actually refill. So if it's not connected, what if I strap it down? Nope, it has to be unstrapped actually to work. But it is working. So if you need to fill up just from the side, you could do that. Also, remember those clear tanks I told you about? You see where the line is in there. I think that's so cool. So for just a little bit of fun, let's see if we can put some stuff back onto the gooseneck. So we grab our cage here. Again, the cage goes at the front, can't go anywhere else. If you get into your truck and it doesn't say anything about connecting, oh, I just disconnected the whole gooseneck. Remember, flip it 180 degrees. I guarantee you, if you flip it around, there it is. We're connected. Then we've got our tank. Now, most all of these have a little nozzle on them. Have that facing forward. You're welcome. Put it in the back. Connect up. Oh, I disconnected the trailer again. A little bit further forward. Maybe there. Connect. Got it. Ha ha. And then lastly, we have our little pump here. So again, I don't want to mix. So we kind of put that in the middle with the red part facing forward. Connect. And it connects itself. Let's say you want to mix, but you don't want to use that. You want to use the X2 attachment. Well, again, we've got a tank of sorts there, and then we have our single dash right here. And it connects. You could connect the other ones here if you wanted to, a pump. You're good. Anywhere the dashes are, you use one of the two dashes or your pump. I hope I'm not saying the same thing over and over again, but it took that for me to actually get it through my thick skull on how it works. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand it because it's super cool. Like, if you want to use a little setup like this to move stuff around, you're good. Remember, nothing else is going to connect to this. You can't put anything else at the front of this. Only a pump goes in the middle, and on the back, only a tank. That's it. So 2 pieces on there. That's it. And then you have 3 pieces that could go there. And then you've got these pieces, but this is the only setup that you could use here other than different tanks. They're set up a certain way for a reason. So again, make sure that you see only these. That's why there's some pre-made stuff, but I do think people are probably going to be a little bit confused when it comes to the X2 and the gooseneck, which is why I wanted to explain those. So that brings us kind of back to the monstrosity that I put together at the beginning of the video. I didn't throw anything in here. But that was like the only place I didn't put anything in where you could have storage. We have tanks at the front and the back. We've got an IBC in there, 2 up there, 4 up there. A bunch of these little bottles here that are just ready to go. Again, I could throw some in there if I really wanted to. I just didn't. It is such a cool, neat setup. Easy to get up into here. I mean, come up here, turn the straps on and off. You're good, man. It's such a cool setup. Again, this would have made for a perfect third-party DLC, especially for North American users. There's one more thing that we haven't shown off, and it is the 50-foot dash sprayer deck trailer. Bcbuhler Farms. This is neat because it can be loaded up for mixing, but can also be loaded up with, well, a thing on the back. Some sprayers will work and some won't. The Bertha Bruin and the Rubicon both work. However, the Dino 2 does not work. But if you go with the John Deere 4940, this will work, but you do have to expand the wheels just a little bit. So basically, the moral of the story is, if you could spread the wheels before you unfold the sprayer, you're probably going to be okay. So stuff with a smaller wheel width just doesn't work out very well. I think this works. If I remember right, one of these was just too wide, but you can't bring it in anymore. And also, yeah, I don't think the Terrogator is going to work very well. And again, the only thing that's going to be different with this one is, well, it's got everything set up the way that it does. So let's select the trailer. Oh, don't fold it. Nope, 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 nope. We're going to unstrap and then lower. So like you would lower a tool, you just lower the trailer down and simply drive off and pick up your mix. It's not going to be full mixed with everything. Obviously, we've only got one water tank versus two, but you'll still probably be just fine for a couple loads. All right, so we've got this set up with all of our goodies. So we're ready to go there. We can fold this. Like if you're not using it for anything, you can actually fold it up. The warning signs go away. The sides fold in. Bam! And then you're good to go. And you've still got access to all of the straps on there. Basically turns it into the 50-foot version of the trailer. So whatever you can hook up to the 50-foot, you can hook up to this. But we don't want that. We want it to be unfoldy-boyed. So we'll unfold it there. We've got our we've got our piece of equipment here where we can load up. I believe this is from custom modding. So we'll come up to it, but you can see we don't have an attachment, or not attachment, we don't have a fill trigger. And we can't load from anything. It's because you have to be in this and you have to have the right thing selected. And I've just realized you have to be on the right side. This one's not on that side. This one is on this side. See, all you got to do is do it the right way. And then it's fine. And there we go. Liquid fertilizer is up. We're ready to go. We're ready to jump out into our fields and get some work done. So now that we've got this, let's take the trailer, select it, lower it down. We take our tractor whenever we're done for the day and simply load it up. Now I'm backing this one up just because I think it's a little bit easier with this specific tractor. But if you've got a sprayer that's a little bit higher at the front, I think you'd be just fine. Load it up there, turn it off, and then we take this, raise up, and make sure you strap down because it will strap the vehicle down. That thing ain't going nowhere. And so that is the Phiber Dash chemical mixing mod from Bcbuhler Farms. Again, this is going through with Giants, and it is going to be for all platforms once it is released. If you got some questions, drop them down below, and also make sure you guys check out Bcbuhler Farms on YouTube, who has done a full video. At least I'm hoping that's out by the time that this is out. Or if he hasn't, he will very shortly. For everybody else, hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like if you did. Get subscribed if you're new. Join the DjGoHam fam. Double check that notification bell. That way you never miss any videos here on the channel. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you later.